In today's episode of Tool Demos, we're going to have a look inside the OTC slide hammer puller set. Then we're going to take it over to the car and see what it can do. Stick with me because that is coming up next. I've used this kit in a few videos, so I decided I was going to show you the inside of it. We could take a look at all the tools that it comes with. This, of course, is your basic slide hammer. We'll get into that in a second. As far as attachments go, this is an 8-way kit. It's part number 7947. So it's got 8 different tools included, but you can see that it's got different spaces for other attachments that it doesn't come with, but you can add them as you need them. The first addition to this kit that I've made is this CV axle puller. You've seen this before in some of my videos. I've modified this one, but I like to put it right here. It fits perfectly and it just goes with the set. I really like using that tool whenever I'm pulling a CV axle. Over here we've got a hub puller attachment. This also just threads onto the slide hammer, but it's designed to pull hubs out of wheel bearings. This has a pretty universal fit for cars, SUVs, and light trucks. It'll fit a number of different kinds of bolt patterns. Just slide this tool onto your hub and then you can use the lug nuts to snug it down. Once it's snug, just give it a few taps with the hammer and that hub should come right off and you're ready to pull out a wheel bearing. So there are other ways to pull hubs out of wheel bearings. This is just the way I like doing it. Now this is a hook adapter. It also threads onto the end, but it's really dull. It doesn't have a sharp edge to it. So I don't like using it. I think the idea here was you're supposed to be able to pull bearing races out of axles with it. I don't use it. I don't think it's a very good tool. It's there in case I ever want to try, but I've got other tools for that purpose. All right, here we've got yokes for a 2-jaw and a 3-jaw puller. They're pretty small, but this is a pretty small set. This set comes with these medium-sized jaws that can hook onto either yoke and make a puller. Let's see what it looks like. Once you've got the jaws on here, you can take the cone and thread it down, and that'll cause the jaws to close and tighten on whatever it is you're pulling. So I'm just going to pull these jaws out, flip them around the opposite way, and then I've got an internal puller. We're going to take our cone and flip it 180 degrees. So in this direction, and we can thread our yoke back on there. All right, we've got that on there. So if we adjust the cone all the way out this way, you can see our jaws are really close together. And now we can just turn it in, and that'll expand the jaws out until it's tight against the inner diameter of the bearing that you want to pull. So this kit comes with a lag bolt. This is actually a tool, and I'll show you how that works. It's got this dent puller attachment, which this bolt fits right down into. That screws on the end here, like that, and now we can thread this into sheet metal and pull sheet metal out. So body repair professionals use a stud welder, and they use a slide hammer that goes over those studs and pulls sheet metal out that way. Now I'm not a body guy, but this works pretty good for my purposes. I'm going to give you a sneak peek into my next project. Now this car came in on a trailer, but it was loaded by a forklift, so the car didn't need to roll. But to get it off the trailer, I had to roll it off, and you can see that the sheet metal here is pushed in and it's going to be rubbing on the tire. So I used this dent puller attachment to pull that sheet metal out and away from the tire so that the car could roll safely without chewing up that rubber. The attachment works pretty well. So I drilled some 3/16 inch holes, and then I threaded this lag screw into them and pulled them out. So eventually those holes just kind of mushroomed out and the screw pulled out of the hole. I just drilled some more holes and kept going until that sheet metal was pulled out away from the tire and I can get the car rolling. Okay, last but not least, maybe one of my favorite little gadgets is this guy right here. It's designed to thread into your vice grips, and you can use your vice grips as a puller attachment. So it just threads in this way, and then you can grab onto things like dowel pins inside cylinder heads and pull them out with your slide hammer. Overall, I'd say this is a really good intermediate tool. This isn't for body work and it's not for fine work. It's kind of somewhere right in the middle. It's got a 5/8 inch fine thread, which is really good for getting tools like this, which are supposed to fit sort of universal slide hammers. They've all got about this same 5/8 inch fine thread attachment. So what do I not like? Actually, it's the shape of the hammer. It looks like it fits my hand okay, but because it has to squeeze inside of these two flanges, when I'm really hammering on something, I'm putting a lot of force here on my hand. It's pounding against the hammer and it hurts. So a design that I like better is a slide hammer like this. It doesn't have those big oversized flanges like the OTC does. It's got a more ergonomic grip, and I like the way that it feels. This is a snap-on, and they're expensive, and the attachments are expensive. It's got a different thread pitch than the OTC. This is a heavier one. So I don't recommend this for people who are just casual or hobbyists. This is a professional tool. It costs a ton of money. If you're only using it occasionally, I would definitely go with the OTC. Overall, I'd say it's a pretty good kit, and I'm glad I have it. I use it all the time, and I'm happy with it. If you think you'd like to add this set to your shop, just check out the description box below this video. I've left a link to the Amazon page for that tool, and you can check it out for yourself. Until next time, thanks for watching. Click here to stay up to date on all my future videos. And click here to catch up on previous episodes. I'll wait up for you.